Hello and welcome along to the fifth and final part of our special Christmas series from FM19 with me, Daniel. We're managing Newcastle United, trying to save their Premier League status after a disastrous first half to the season. They were bottom at Christmas, and you all know what that normally means, and we had the daunting task of trying to save them. To avoid any spoilers, we've started on this screen. If you haven't seen any of the series yet, then click on the eye above to go back and catch up, and then come back to this one when you're ready. But also a massive thank you to everyone that has followed this special series and our two long-term stories over the year. There will be a channel update coming out on Monday. I have no idea what sort of standard it will be because it will be the first one I've ever done. The channel's only 5 months old and we'll just be reflecting on the growth and what we're going to be doing in 2019. And for anyone who was looking for our FIFA 19 video today, it came out slightly earlier because of this series. It was out at 4 o'clock, so again you should be able to go and catch up on the channel. But let's start the spoilers. We'll get back to the home screen. Those of you that were with me in the last episode, you'll know that we completed the challenge. We stayed up with 2 games to spare and reached that mighty 40-point target. Now it's very unlikely, but if things go very well today, we could actually finish in the top half, which is miraculous, but it's more likely we're going to be fighting to nick 12th place. Our last 2 games are against Everton, who are 8th, and Chelsea, who are up in 3rd, so it couldn't get much trickier really. As I've said throughout this series, I've really enjoyed managing this club and I've quite enjoyed FM19 Touch actually. Like the main game, it seems a lot better than last year's edition. So if you do want to see me do another season with Newcastle, then let me know down in the comments and we'll try and squeeze it in on a Friday every week. But if not, it's been a brilliant challenge, and at the end of today's episode we'll reflect on the squad and just how much we've enjoyed some of the players we've had here. But let's play our last 2 games of the season, starting with Everton away. We're not expecting much, we're not going to rotate, we want to do as well as possible, so let's look at the lineup for this one. We've got everyone fit, so I think it's exactly the same 18 that finished the last episode. It's Butland in goal, Dummett and Yedlin are the fullbacks with Lascelles and Clark in the middle. Richie's on the right of midfield, Drinkwater and Sissoko in the middle, Barkley behind Muto up top with Kennedy running off the left. We'll stay on our positive mentality, or am I not going to be that brave? I think we'll go back to standard for this one and see what happens. Let's play the game and see if we can get a shock result. Similar formation again, it's just that their right winger's a bit further forward in Theo Walcott. Let's get into the first half. It seems a bit strange, I've got to say this actually. Since we've completed the challenge and we've actually carried on, it started giving us all the new person tutorials, and I'm not quite sure why. We haven't asked for them, and they've just suddenly come up. We've been playing it for half a season, but now we're officially managing the club as if it was a career. We've started to get tutorials. I find it really strange, but with 5 minutes gone, that's my only complaint, and that's a very minor one indeed. It's Richie with the ball into the box from a free kick. Calvert-Lewin heads away and Gomez flicks it on. McCarthy heads, but it falls to Richie again. He's starting to charge down the right hand side. Can we get a ball into the box? We can't. Sissoko's in the middle for Shelvey. I think that might have been a change actually. Sissoko gets it to Kennedy, and I'm probably so used to it that I'll just said Shelvey anyway. But Kennedy has just scored an unbelievable goal. A right-footed half volley into the top corner, smashed the post and dropped down just over the line. We needed the goal line technology, I think, but it managed to count anyway. Drinkwater in the middle to Sissoko. As I was saying before that goal, if I did say Shelvey and Drinkwater because that's what I'm used to, I apologise. Barkley on the edge. We're used to his screamers, but he's denied by the bar this time, and it's behind for a throw-in on the right-hand side. Up to the half an hour mark, in fact just 5 minutes to half time. Bernard's coming forward on the left for Everton. Gets it into the box. Calvert-Lewin loses out, falls for Sigurdsson, and you would have bet your house on him scoring that one, but he's put it wide of the post. It looks like at the break we may well lead 1-0. Yedlin throws it in. It's won back by Zeka, never heard of him, but he gets it into Sigurdsson. Sigurdsson back to Gomez and now Zuma. They're building very patiently from the back, but this one's long towards Calvert-Lewin. He flicks it on, but it's straight to Yedlin. Yedlin finds Clark. Clark back to Lascelles. Lascelles has got time. He goes inside to Clark. We don't look in any hurry here, but it's over the top now. Zuma's trying to close it down, and he gets there easily before Muto and hoofs it down the right to Walcott. Walcott inside to McCarthy. Now Andre Gomez. Gomez over halfway, pretty much unopposed, and gets it out to Bernard. He's got a bit of a trick in him. Gets it to the back post to Calvert-Lewin, who heads it narrowly over the bar, and it looks like we are going to survive to the break. It is half-time and we do lead 1-0 thanks to that absolute screamer from Kennedy. Let's get into the second and see if we can hold on. Zeka brings it forward, but the highlight ends very quickly in that one. Everton coming forward on the left again. We're up to 12th as it stands, but now they're in with a penalty, and that's just about to change, I think. Kieran Clark adjudged to have fouled his man and hold on to his shirt, and now it's going to be a penalty kick. Who's taking it? It's going to be Sigurdsson, I presume. It is. Is he going to score? Oh, it's straight at Butland. That is a terrible penalty, and everything is going for us in this save. I have never had a save go so well as this. It's been really easy, and that would be my only complaint, is that on normal difficulty it's been a little bit easy to get out of trouble. Sissoko coming forward on the edge. Again, we did have a little bit more of a transfer budget than we expected. It's the specific reason I picked Newcastle without looking. I thought it'd be really hard to get players in, but we had money left, and now Barkley's put one in the corner. There was a foul in the build-up, and Muto's got a knock. He's got pulled knee ligaments, which doesn't sound good, but Barkley's back to scoring screamers, and that's all we want to see. An hour gone, and we're 2-0 up. Let's take Muto off before we do any more damage. We've got Viatri who can come on, or Perez who we're going to bring on actually. He'll go as an advanced forward up there. A couple of other subs to make. Sissoko back out to the right hand side as a winger. We'll take Matt Ritchie off, who's not had the best game. Shelvey on for him, and Drinkwater switches to the box-to-box role. Clark gave away a penalty and wasn't at his best, but we don't really want to take him off yet either. So we'll leave the last sub for now, and we'll make it with a few minutes to go. Gomez goes back to Jagielka. We're still going on the attack from the kickoff here. Gomez into Sigurdsson. In the centre circle. Can he find a ball out to Walcott on the right? Walcott cutting in, crosses towards the centre forward, but Lascelles clears it away brilliantly. Muto gets it to Sissoko. Now Barkley. Over the top towards Muto again, but Coleman brings it down, and Everton will bring it away with Michael Keane. He finds Jagielka. Coleman again. Over the top, but Clark clears it easily. Now Sissoko into Barkley. It's so easy for us. I don't know what's going on here. Ritchie charging in. What an effort. And it's tipped wide by the keeper, and it's a corner kick. Ritchie won't be able to take it as he'll be going off. But with 2 subs made and 20 minutes to go, we still lead 2-0. 10 minutes left, it's Shelvey with a free kick, just over the bar. It might have even flicked the crossbar on its way over. We will bring Sissoko off now. Few minutes to go. In fact, we'll put him in the box-to-box. Drinkwater can have a rest instead. And Murphy comes on the right. We'll leave him on the right of midfield for now. We don't want to overcommit with 10 minutes to go as we try to see out the game. Stoppage time just about over. We throw it in from the left with Dummett. He finds Kennedy. The final whistle goes. A 2-0 win at Everton. I don't know how to explain this save. We have been absolutely sensational from start to finish and won about 67% of our games. To win 2/3 of your games is ridiculous, and I have no idea how we've done so well. Going into the final game, we do need a 10-goal swing, but we could finish above Bournemouth in 11th place. I'm not too worried about that though, as we go against Chelsea, who have been fantastic up in 3rd place all season. We'll be back in a second for that one, followed by our end of season review. Right, back for the final game. The fans should be out in numbers today, praising the players as they've made an absolutely fantastic comeback in the second half of the season. We're 8 points clear with a game to go, and you wouldn't have expected that at the start of the challenge. Kennedy's ineligible today because he's on loan from Chelsea, and one of the other players we got from there, Danny Drinkwater, is out with a gashed upper leg. Barkley does make his debut against his former club though, his first time since he left, and hopefully he'll be able to do something special, as he has so many times this season. Murphy comes in on the left for Kennedy, as we don't really have an out-and-out natural replacement. The rest of the side's the same. Shelvey's in obviously for Drinkwater. Butland's in goal with Dummett and Yedlin in the fullbacks. Lascelles and Clark in the middle. Ritchie continues on the right wing. Sissoko and Shelvey, with Barkley behind Muto, and Murphy this time running off the left. A couple of different faces on the bench. Manquillo makes his return to it for the first time since February. And also Longstaff, one of the youngsters at the club. He comes on and hopefully we'll be able to give him an appearance today. Let's get into the match and see if we can finish off the season in absolute style. Chelsea's centre-half partnership's confusing me. They've got a young Spanish centre-half which is fine, but that's Mangala. What on earth is he doing there? But nevertheless, we won't judge. Let's get into it and see if we can get a result. I doubt we will in this one. We're sticking with our balanced mentality. Don't want to go forward too much, just in case they pick us off. If they look like scoring a few early on, we'll drop back. But with nearly 10 minutes gone, it's still 0-0. It's a corner for us with Ritchie, an in-swinger. Lascelles with the header and it's just wide. And the first chance of the match goes to us. It might not have been the first shot, but look at the shot count, we're miles ahead. Shelvey with another corner. Ritchie hits the post and Murphy's offside as he goes for the rebound. A brilliant start, but it's still 0-0. It's a throw on the right for Yedlin. He finds Richie. Shelvey will get it back though into Sissoko. What a goal that is! Musa Sissoko with an absolute special from 25 yards. And now, after all the success in this challenge, we're beating one of the big boys in Chelsea. A wonderful goal, and with half an hour gone we lead 1-0. Another free kick for us. It's been all Newcastle in this half. Shelvey scores it. Kepa won't be happy. He hasn't covered himself in glory there. He tips it into the net when he probably should have got a stronger hand on it. But we lead 2-0 now with both centre midfielders getting on the score sheet. 5 minutes to the break and this has been miraculous. Dummett throws it into Murphy. Flicks it on for Barkley. Back to Dummett again. Just controlling the game in the middle. We still haven't seen an attacking highlight from Chelsea. Barkley goes to Shelvey. Now Sissoko. The three of them just playing between each other. Now Murphy again back to Shelvey. It's so comfortable. It's so confident. And I feel like we could compete at the top end. Richie back to Shelvey again. Shelvey orchestrating the play from the middle. Barkley with a chance to come forward now to Murphy. Bit of time opens up. Goes for the curling shot. But it's just wide of the post and remains 2-0. Sissoko with the last chance of the half possibly. Richie over the top towards Muto, who recovered from his injury in the last game. Headed away straight to Barkley. Went for the spectacular volley, but it's just over the bar and it is going to be 2-0 at the break. A wonderful performance and Chelsea have barely had a sniff. There's the whistle then. Let's get straight into the second half. There's nothing we want to change about that performance as Shelvey brings it forward again. Goes back to Lascelles and Clark, but the highlight ends before we see any action. Halfway through the second half, nothing's happened. We couldn't be happier with that. It's back to Barkley and now Shelvey. We still haven't seen a Chelsea shot on camera yet. There's not been any highlights for them. Murphy gets it in behind. Muto's in one-on-one. The defence parted like the Red Sea and Muto slides it in the corner. Murphy set it up with a great through ball. And with a quarter of the game left, we leave Chelsea 3-0 and it looks like they're already on their summer holidays. 15 minutes to go, let's make some changes. We're going to take off Barkley for Perez. He deserves a run out. He's been brilliant all season. We're going to bring on the youngster Longstaff for Shelvey, who's on a booking. Sissoko might have to change roles. Let's have a look. He's quite confident in box to box. I don't know which one Sissoko's better in. We are going to swap them. Let the young kid play in his preferred role. Is there anyone else we really want to bring on? I think Manquillo deserves a game just because he's worked so hard despite the fact we've been in really good form and he's not had to play many games. We're going to switch him to a fullback just to make sure we don't get caught out as we lead 3-0 and don't need to attack. We're in the last few seconds of stoppage time. There have been no more highlights and we've gone a full game without seeing a chance for Chelsea. What a wonderful way to end the season, and the Newcastle fans are rightly on their feet applauding the lads as they secure survival comfortably and absolutely pace the side right at the top of the league. There's the final table then, 11 points clear, 12th place at the end of the season, and we were only 11 points off Europe. What a wonderful way to finish the season. I've absolutely loved this challenge with Newcastle. I'm kind of hoping you don't want to see another season, because if you do, there's no way we're going to top what we've done there. Let's quickly look at what they've said about the game. 17 million for the club for staying up. So if we did manage to stay next season, I'm sure we'd have a little bit of budget to spend. A brilliant performance overall, and almost as miraculous as Rafa was last year. We'll acknowledge a scout report because we're probably never going to use it. Let's quickly go and review the squad and see how well they've done this season. A few of them were our own signings. Obviously the main one we lost for 2/3 of the time due to injury. But if we pick the selection info, obviously it will include the appearances before we joined the club for those of them who we didn't sign. But let's look at the lads overall. Yedlin at the top, followed by Lascelles. All of the lads at the top are ones we had at the club already. But plenty of brilliant performers who deserve loads of credit for how they've done here. If we go in terms of goals, Muto ended the season with 8. Got a few of them since we've been at the club. Richie with 6. He'd only scored 1 before we joined. And Ross Barkley with 6. Almost all of them spectacular. Kennedy, Sissoko, Perez and Shelvey contributed a few as well. And all of them were just absolutely brilliant. If we go in terms of assists, Dummett's top of that list with 6. He got a few of them while we were here. Kennedy and Shelvey with 5 apiece, and then plenty on 3, 2 and 1 respectively. And in terms of average rating, some of our signings are going to be right at the top there. Ross Barkley leads the way, closely followed by Musa Sissoko. The youngster Longstaff made a few appearances with us here, and he's got a rating above a 7-2. And Jack Butland, that shows the difference he made in his few games. Dubravka's got one of the worst ratings at the club, and Butland is right there at the top. Matt Ritchie was brilliant before he got his injury halfway through our spell here, and a few of the defenders have got good ratings too, which is testament to their performances since we've been here. We'll end on the screen that shows us the league table, so we can be delighted and marvel in our performance. If you did enjoy this mini-series, please put a thumbs up on the videos, it's greatly appreciated. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see something like this over other holiday seasons, where we won't be releasing our regular stories. And as I said, if you do want to see another season, just to see what we can do with this side, then let me know and we'll fit that in over a few Fridays in the next few weeks. Subscribe to the channel for daily FM19 content. We're back tomorrow with the first of our 2 long-term stories continuing. The head coach, where we've just joined our new team and we'll be playing our first game on camera with them tomorrow. And then on Sunday we're back with Torquay United with a massive FA Cup tie as we look to round off our squad before the January transfer window. There's also weekly content from our FIFA 19 lower league career with crew. The latest episode of that came out half an hour before this one, so go and check it out if you haven't already. And over the next few days we'll have a couple more specials on the channel, as we mentioned at the start of this episode. Firstly, a quick channel update on New Year's Eve, where we talk about our plans for 2019 and thank you all massively for the support this year. And then on New Year's Day, we'll have a transfer window special from our FIFA 19 career with crew. We'll be going into our 3rd season, so find out who we're signing and what league we're going to be in for that one. But a massive thanks for watching this mini-series and for following my content on the channel. You don't know how much I appreciate it. And we'll see you tomorrow for the return of the head coach.